going to be a very brief slideshow that will actually look
Okay.
at Twitter. Because quite frankly, I don't use Twitter except to do this demonstration.
Okay.
Now, this is Twitter's definition of what they are. So when you read it, and I'll let you read it instead of reading it to you, you can tell basically it's PR, some PR person wrote it. So,
What is posted to your profile feed?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
saying that, you know, what does Facebook call what you see where things are posted? Your news feed.
Oh, okay,
Twitter calls it your profile.
okay. So it's actually another word for email.
No, not email.
Oh,
It's like the water cooler, sort of.
oh,
And I'll try to explain a little bit.
all right.
But, you know, you've heard of people like President Trump tweeting all the time,
Yes.
and other notables tweeting. For those of us that are not notables, we probably have nothing that we would tweet that would be of any interest to anybody. So, that's why I don't use it, because I haven't found a reason for it personally.
You just pick up the phone and call.
Send a text or an email. With my hearing, calling doesn't work too well. Some people,
Not even with hearing aids?
well, if I call somebody, I have to use my cell phone and my
Oh,
Bluetooth connected hearing aids. Otherwise,
So what's the difference between a tweet and a text?
a text is something you send from your cell phone to another cell phone.
Oh, so here I thought I tweeted and I don't, I text. Oh,
Tweeting is what you do on Twitter, and only on Twitter.
and that's a different internet connection.
No, it's on the internet. It's just another service on the internet.
Service.
Remember AOL?
Yes?
You got the
It's another
AOL
service
Messenger.
on the internet.
All right.
The
Okay.
internet is
Oh, and
the
here I thought I-
conglomeration
Okay, the
of
internet has everything.
everything.
Twitter's a little bit.
Everything you do today that's communication driven, other than read a newspaper, even the newspaper is generated over the internet and printed.
Okay,
So, you know, everything's on the internet.
yes,
Even Jack's on the internet.
yeah. Even my phone calls seem to be on the internet.
Yeah, your phone calls go across the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so tweet. What is a tweet? It's a message that you post to Twitter, your Twitter profile, if you will, your Twitter account. And you can have text, photos, videos, you know, all kinds of stuff. What you looking for, Joe? Huh?
Decided to walk around. Keep on going.
Whoa! If you hear somebody talk about a retweet, that's just when you repeat somebody else's tweet.
All right.
And edit, if everyone knows what edit means, you can't edit a tweet once you've tweeted it.
There's a new phrase in tweet now
What?
called a tweet storm.
Don't get it. I'm not going to get into the nonsense.
But it can be deleted, okay.
Yeah, you can delete your own tweets. Can't delete anybody else's tweets, obviously.
so you can do this on a computer then, not just your phone?
Yeah, you can do it. I'm going to do it on the computer.
Well, you are, aren't you?
This is a computer.
Yeah.
Cell phone's in my pocket. It's not doing anything right now.
But it is a computer too.
If you hear somebody talking about following on Twitter, that's the mechanism you have to use to get information from other tweeters, whatever you want to call them.
It's like Facebook.
You have to follow someone to see what they say.
Facebook either.
You can't just go on Twitter and expect stuff to show up. You have to follow people.
Wait, you have to have these people's names on your Twitter account?
You have to find them on Twitter and then follow them. So their stuff starts showing up on your profile.
But you choose them.
Yeah, you have to choose them. You go on Twitter, you don't automatically start seeing stuff. You have to start following. Now, you're going to see some advertisements just like on Facebook and every place else on the planet. So,
Well,
don't be surprised. But,
so you could get Donald Trump's tweets.
yeah, you can follow the president.
Okay,
You can follow Kim Kardashian. You can follow Joe if he's on Twitter. He's not.
okay.
But Follow me, I'm on Twitter. I don't tweet anything, but I'm on there.
You can follow CNN.
Huh?
CNN too.
What?
CNN.
Well, yeah, most of the news organizations, TV stations, they all tweet.
Okay.
Replies, basically, when someone says they replied to a tweet, you see a tweet, and if you reply to it, that's a reply. You're commenting on that person's tweet. Direct messages, you can also, just like in Facebook, where you can send a message between you and another person that no one else can see, same thing on Twitter. You can send a message from you to another Twitter user, as long as you know what their Twitter account name is, or what they call a Twitter handle. Anybody remember CB radio?
Yes,
Yeah.
you had your handle, right?
Everybody had a handle. On Twitter, you have handles too.
Okay, so if you're following someone on Twitter, you can Twitter it back. Can anybody else who's following that person too see your tweet?
If you tweet to someone that someone else was following, depends on all the settings and everything, but yes.
Oh,
That's how people retweet other stuff.
okay,
So it depends on how you've set things up. But in general, yes.
wow,
Is it getting hot in here?
yes.
Might as well open the doors.
Well, that won't make any difference because this whole room is controlled by one thermostat.
Yeah, it's locked up.
Well, somebody might want to tell JD
We will
downstairs.
survive.
Let's open the doors. Open these.
Well, open the windows to get some cross ventilation.
Okay,
A lot of heat's on.
We'll look at the thermostat, see what it's going
7.
to fight it.
Private message.
So anyhow, direct messages are like a text between you and somebody else.
Okay.
It's only between you and that
Okay.
person.
That's a different, that's a direct setup for privacy.
Right, if you want to send a direct message to someone.
Okay.
You all may have heard about a hashtag. If you want a subject to be searchable on your tweets, you put a hashtag in front of it. So you could say like, hashtag fell over a tree, or something that other people can search for easily, you have to put a hashtag in front of it. Otherwise, what you tweet is not searchable directly.
Okay.
Yes.
What is a hashtag? Is that like the number sign?
It's the number sign. Yeah.
Pound sign.
And you can put pictures into tweets. When you're doing a tweet, I'll show you later, you can actually add a picture to it. So. Do you need it? Probably not. Do you like to gossip? You might be interested. Are you popular? You may actually need it to maintain your popularity.
Sure.
And is it a good way to communicate? I don't think so, personally. It's
Gossip.
in effect a one-way communication. It really is. I mean, you can reply back and forth, but it's not good for conversation. It's just good for airing your own opinion out in front of a bunch of people, and then what do you do about that? I don't know. In my opinion, Facebook and Twitter, things like this, are not essential mechanisms. But the problem is people have figured out how to make money with them. There's all kinds of advertising on them.
Oh,
So that's why they're still around.
yeah.
If they weren't marketable, then they'd go away. Like, anybody remember MySpace? You know it's still out there, right?
What is this again?
MySpace. If you remember AOL, you ought to remember MySpace. That was a big thing in the AOL
Oh,
days.
MySpace.
MySpace.
No, I remember it.
It was the forerunner to Facebook,
Okay.
but not directly. Man, it is almost like they just cranked the heat wide open, didn't they?
Yeah, they turned on the furnace.
Good Lord. I thought it was just me, but man. What's going on, JD? Trying to cook us to death?
He says, is that doing that again?
There's a reason for this.
Whew. Got hotter than a pistol in here.
Yeah, because the furnace is on.
For what?
Oh, they even opened the
Why is the
window.
furnace on?
Well,
He's got an explanation for everything.
That's why I got him.
You have to get in because he's in charge.
That's right.
Yes, Mark?
What I don't understand is if there's some group of people that wanted to communicate, what's just wrong with using a simple conventional text or email?
Nothing. Twitter is just a platform that some wise guys started, thinking it would be something that people would play with, and because it's been marketed pretty heavily by...
The default temperature for the furnace, somebody programmed in at 71. Up here earlier, they had an exercise class, and they wanted cooler, so they turned the air to 72. Well, when you have heater or air conditioning come on, it'll go down 1 degree below what you set it for, stop, and let it warm up and do it again. Well, if you have it set at 72 and it goes down to 71, what's it going to do? It's going to trigger the furnace on.
Furnace on.
I thought 68 was the proper
That's-
temperature.
That's why it did that at in a yoga class too.
They can't turn the
last week.
furnace off?
Yeah, I programmed it back down.
I mean,
to
can't
furnace.
you just turn it to the AC on? Like you
Well,
can
you
in
can
the-
lock it on, but it's better if it's on auto. I just put the temperature
Turn
heat
it-
down to 65.
Turn the furnace
and-
down to 50 for
I would
Take
run
it
it down
down
to
to-
50 personally, because it's not going to get cold enough to kick it on if you run it down to 50. The furnace side, run it down to 50.
It won't let me go down past 65.
It's the thermostat.
They're the stupidest thermostats.
They are, obviously.
All right.
So anyway,
Thank you.
once it gets through that cycle, it'll stop. The air is now back on. It'll,
We pray.
yeah, it should.
Just keep that door
Thanks,
open.
Janie.
Thank you for coming.
All right.
Appreciate it. Okay, so Twitter. This is what Twitter looks like on your computer. If you have someone who has Twitter on their phone, and it's an Android or it's an Apple phone, it might look different, and it will look different. Okay.
Oh.
Because the platform is different depending on the device you're using. So that's why a lot of people say, well, it doesn't look like mine. Well, what can I tell you?
Oh, so my next door neighborhood internet looks like this. Is that a Twitter?
I don't know, without seeing it.
Okay.
If you see the funny little blue bird,
Tweet.
Uh-huh.
then it's
No,
Twitter.
I don't remember
It's not the
seeing it, but I
bird.
didn't look for it.
Blue bird of happiness, I can tell you that much. It's very small,
The
right
bird.
there, right next to messages.
Thank
Joe,
you.
Right.
Joe, how come your thing is crooked now?
Well, the guy moved it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. All right, so this is what a Twitter screen looks like.
Okay,
Again,
Already up there.
I see it.
they call it your profile. To me, a profile is where you set all your addresses and phone numbers and stuff like that, but Twitter, for some reason, calls this your profile. The way to find out how Twitter works is to just find their help center, which you don't have to be a member of Twitter to find. And once you find it, you can, you can get here without having an account, okay? You'll notice this thing says hi at DailyAH at 1506. That's my Twitter handle.
Your handle. Okay.
So whenever you see somebody that
At
has at something, you know how your email address is your name at AOL.com or something. Well, in Twitter world, it begins with the at, and the next stuff is your handle,
Okay.
your user account name. But it's not based on the handle as far as signing up. You got to put an email address in so they know how to contact you.
Okay.
And of course, you have to have a password. Stands to reason, right? So if you want to know how to use Twitter, I mean, they got everything you ever wanted to
No,
find
there's
out about. They have
rules and policies.
getting started guides. They just basically have everything you want to know right here.
Okay.
Or you can go to the help topics and dig through all this stuff. You're going to find over time, just like anybody here use Facebook every now and then? A couple of us do. Facebook makes little changes, sometimes large changes to their platform. So all of a sudden, something you were able to do last week a certain way, suddenly it's changed. Because they changed it. No explanation, they just changed it. Twitter does the same thing. Every once in a while, I've heard people grumble about, well, you know, I used to be able to do this, now I can't anymore. They can still do it, they just have to find the new way of doing it. This is how you figure it out. All right. Let me get back to my account here. So you'll notice along the right-hand column, this section here, these are the people I'm following and the things they have tweeted. So like this is the Arapahoe Sheriff's Office, Aurora Police Department, Aurora Fire Rescue, and so on and so forth. Periodically you'll see something like this. Twitter is trying to get you to follow other people by suggesting people you might know. In general, they have nothing to do with you. I don't know how they figure out who to recommend here. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook puts up stuff people I've never heard of. I ignore them. But usually what I've found is if you see this little carrot right here, you can say, see this less often. Because actually this is more like an ad, and you'll notice this is a real estate, this is some kind of vice president or something or other. So if you don't want to see this very often, just, you know, it'll bother you less. Now, guess what?
It'll bother with new stuff.
It's still going to bother you, and it'll probably start bothering you more later on. Because you're not paying to use this, how do you think they make money? Advertising. Sorry. So, again, this is the section over here where you're going to see people's tweets that you're following. Now, suppose I'm going to find out who is following me. So that's what followers is. Pardon me for coughing so much.
Oh, Jericho.
My vacation somewhere, I picked up a bug.
Got a fun vacation. I could see you on Facebook.
Occasionally. So there's Barbara Cott, she's a club member. Sharon Scott, used to work with her.
Well, why is one green and one's white?
I have
The
no
tag?
idea. No idea.
That means they're online, or?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I haven't figured that out.
They could have a better, larger profile.
This and this is the same person.
Yes.
Barbara somehow joined Twitter twice.
One has a lot.
She's on Facebook at least twice.
Hey, I'm on King Supers twice.
Sorry?
I'm on King Supers twice.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, some of these people I used to work with, this guy used to go to our church, you know, stuff like that. If you want to find somebody and you know their handle, you can search Twitter up here and you can type their handle in. So their handle's going to start with @ and then you have to know what it is. So, you know,
So it's telling you when you're looking at like Barbara Cott, it tells you what her handle is.
yeah, it tells you what her handle is, right. So if you're looking for other people that you're not currently following, the only way you're going to find them is to search for them. You can also search by the name you think they're going to go by, Kim Kardashian. So you'll notice that's probably her there, and there's other Kardashians.
Yep.
But if you want to follow the president,
The real Donald
the
Trump.
real Donald Trump, POTUS is the actual presidential one,
Right.
and so on and so forth. Now, Why do you think it says real Donald Trump?
Because there's
Well,
some
maybe he's
using
got
that
two
other.
different.
There are people that
Twitter-
try to, grab an account before somebody else does that's famous and then sell it to them.
Oh,
So Twitter, like Facebook, they have both set up a structure. I'm not sure how it works. You're a famous person and you see your name being used by somebody else. You can go into Twitter and there's a way to convince them you're you and you can take over that account. If in fact that person's name is not your name.
your name.
If they happen to have the same name you do, then there might be
Sure.
some price negotiation and stuff like that. So a lot of times you're going to see when it says real Donald Trump or real whatever, they have things they call verified accounts. In other words, they have verified this is really that person. Because sometimes you might find a Twitter account that's not really the person it says it is. So, if you want to follow somebody, when you have their account up, you just click the follow button. So if I want to follow the president, I click follow him. Now it suggests maybe I want to follow POTUS or Hillary Clinton. Jack might want to follow Hillary Clinton. No, he says no. Okay. So, that makes sense? So
Yeah,
again, if you want to get back to your home page, if you will, that's why there's a home button. So you just click that. It's going to take you back to your home page. And now again, it shows I'm following 31 people. If I click that, I'm going to see who all I'm following. So there's a bunch of people there.
CIM.
What? Somebody said
I
something?
said CIM.
What about it?
That was one of your following.
Yeah. Why? What was the question?
No, I was
Oh.
just noting.
Oh, I used to work for them,
Mhm.
so that's why I'm following. So anyhow, that's how you know who you're following. Make sense?
Yes?
And if you want to see any of the tweets you've done, you notice I've been real prolific. I've done 5. And if you scroll way back towards the bottom here, and you'll notice sometimes you try to scroll down and it won't go anywhere. And you're like, what's going on? Well, sometimes you've got to the end of your list.
You refresh?
No, I mean that's all I've done here. 2014, I think that's when I first did it. I can't remember. You can also look at tweets and replies, and that's going to go a little bit longer because some of them, are replies to other people's tweets. So the tweet column means those are the things I tweeted. Tweets and replies are a combination, things I replied to. And then media, if I recall, is any kind of pictures I tweeted.
Is that your house in the snow time?
Yeah, that was a snowstorm way back when. Okay, does that make sense? Any so far? At this point,
How did they get your picture?
I gave it to them.
Oh,
You want it, you can buy it from Twitter.
okay.
Sorry?
If you want the picture, you can buy it from Twitter because they'll sell it to you.
You can get it from Google, but they won't show you the snow.
Okay, so now the other thing about Twitter, again, it's not an effective method of communication, although a lot of organizations like it because, for example, that's why, like you see, I'm following the Arapahoe County Sheriffs and the Aurora Police. If you're following them and you have your notifications set up right, and if they tweet something like an emergency type situation, that they would normally use reverse 911, anybody heard of reverse 911?
Yes.
Where they call all the phones, that's going to probably disappear. it doesn't work worth a crap since everybody's switching to cell phones. It just doesn't work. Cell phones aren't geographically oriented. So how does the police department tweet your neighborhood when they don't know where, you know, some people have cell phones that are still registered in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, most police departments will let you sign up and give them your cell phone number and your address so they can put you in their database. So when they do a reverse 911, it'll text to your cell phone
Okay.
or do a call to your cell phone. But if you don't do that, they can't get in touch with you. And a lot of people think, well, I don't need a landline. Well, you know, when a guy breaks in the front door, they didn't know he was coming because the police couldn't get a hold of him, let them know some guy's going around the neighborhood breaking in the front doors,
Right.
you know. So, but Twitter, if you follow an agency that might tweet that kind of stuff, then, you know, it might pop up and give you a notification. If you have your cell phone on you all the time. How many people here sleep with their cell phone?
I sleep next to it.
Huh?
I put it on the nightstand.
Anybody else put it up in the bedroom? A couple of you?
That's where my charger is.
Mine's downstairs plugged into my computer in the basement.
But you have a landline, right?
Yes, I do.
Right next to your bed, right?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I'm a normal person.
Case closed.
But an awful lot of young people, you know, in 20s and 30s, even early 40s, that think, all I need is a cell phone.
That's right.
And then they get mad at the agencies that don't notify them during emergencies. Well, because your cell phone's not registered with them, you jerk.
Yeah.
And it's not geographically oriented. So.
Yeah.
How'd you register?
Sorry?
How'd
Call
you
and give
register?
them your
By their
address.
site or?
Yeah, if you register on their site, they can contact you. In the forest fires they've had up in the mountains, that's a problem. People don't have landlines, they have cell phones, but they haven't registered, so they don't get calls to evacuate. And then they blame the police
Yeah.
or the fire department. Hey, it's not our fault. I mean, they'd like to get them out of there, but you know, if you don't make attempts to take care of yourself, then you know, nothing other
Right.
people can do. Sometimes you'll see along the left-hand side suggestions. You know,
The White House is giving you suggestions?
no, Twitter is doing this. They're suggesting I
Twitter's
might
saying,
want to
since you're
follow.
following President Trump, you might as well follow the White House.
Yeah, you might want to follow it, you know. Trends. The trends are, remember I talked about hashtags? So if you create a post that says, hashtag best time ever in Denver, and 100,000 people follow it or like it, it would be trending.
Okay.
That hashtag would be a trending topic.
Okay.
If you ever watched The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon,
Yes.
if I ever watch him, he does this thing on Wednesdays or Tuesdays. He sends out a tweet with a hashtag, and then people are supposed to post that subject and put that hashtag in there, and then his staff can quickly search and see who posted.
Okay.
So, and they say it's been trending in the U.S. or whatever. So, but that's what this stuff is. It's just things that are trending. You'll see, shows you, you know, the name of it. I don't really understand how they develop it, how they figure out it might be of interest to me. Quite frankly, it probably isn't, because I don't use Twitter very much, so they don't have a profile on me other than what I typed in. But if you use a platform like this a lot, pretty soon they develop a pretty good personality profile of you.
Yep.
Facebook, which we were talking about earlier, and they're down like 20%. You know, their stock is tanking, partially because of that Cambridge Analytica thing that went off here a few months back or whatever, where they, you know, information was being shared and people still aren't trusting. Plus the other reason it went down is some backroom dealing going on.
Oh, their financials weren't that hot.
Huh?
The financials were
Yeah,
not
they didn't hit
that-
their targets.
No.
And, you know, nervous investors like Mark probably dropped them like a hot potato. Right, Mark? So if you see something along the side over here and you say, well, why is this here? Like this one will show you. It's definitely an ad.
Yes.
It's promoted by Salesforce Essentials some company. But I don't know who Rizzo is. I don't know
What
who
is this?
most of these people are. The Four.
Or,
If you want to know what it is, you click it, and that's that TV show, I guess.
oh, on Fox.
Yeah, The Four on Fox. So,
I thought they only had a 5 on Fox.
hey, don't confuse Fox TV for Fox News. Two different entities. That's Fox TV. That's the stuff you see on Channel 31 local.
Oh, 31 channel. I watch the
Fox News is a whole different.
And I do Fox Cable.
So anyhow, I really don't know what else to cover since I'm not a power Twitter user.
I don't see this being much difference than Facebook, other than Facebook is more picture oriented.
Yeah, Facebook is a little bit more open.
Picture oriented.
Well, picture, but also more open in that things you post on Facebook are much easier seen by other people than on Twitter. Twitter, somebody has to be following you to see what you tweet, and you have to be following someone to see what they tweet.
I've never seen a reason for it on myself.
I'm sorry?
I say I never saw a reason to have it for myself.
Yeah, most people, I think, personal editorial, I think it's a commentary on the gullibility of the younger generation and how easy it is to sell them a product. Because its popularity is increasing because everybody, everybody says it's the thing to do, so I'll do it. That's how Facebook took off. It was in college at first. You know how college students are, they'll follow like lemmings, they'll go over the cliff following the idiots in front.
Yeah.
So, that's how Facebook took off. That's how MySpace took off. It didn't go very far, but So I think it's one of those things that, if you're a fan of a certain entertainer, you might want to be on Twitter to follow what they're saying. Like I say, the only reason I signed up and played with it is just as a demo a while back, plus I signed up and follow the police and fire departments in the area just in case but they don't put much on there other than social events. Every once in a while they'll post something, about a runaway or a missing person, but not very often. You're more likely to see that on TV or hear on the radio. But they can use it, and they have used it for that purpose occasionally. But they also use Facebook for that too. So, anybody here ever heard of a website called Nextdoor?
Yeah, I use it.
Yeah, I use it too. Yeah, so in my neighborhood, it shows
It's
me
all over anymore.
local posts from local neighborhoods and stuff. And the police use that to announce road closings and stuff
Sure.
like that. The problem I see with it, there's so many different platforms to do this kind of stuff, it dilutes the effectiveness. If there was only Facebook and everything was funneled through Facebook, then it might be useful. But if it's on Nextdoor and Twitter and Facebook and MySpace, which one do you look at to get your information? Which channel you watch on TV to get your news? Some people, the only way they find their news, talking about my cousin, her husband who cut the cord, so to speak, or the satellite dish, and, they don't watch TV, they don't read the newspaper.
Radio?
No radio. So the only place they get their news is, I don't know,
Neighbors?
Facebook. They're liberals, so it makes sense they don't watch the news because they don't want to hear what's going on.
They must be contributing to the fewer pages in the newspaper these days.
I always give them a hard time when I visit them because they're liberals and I'm not. My brother does the same thing. He always runs down during election season and puts up Republican candidate signs in their yard. And just to irritate them.
I can't remember when I last read anything out of a newspaper, including the Tuesday ads. Which I immediately.
I actually bought a paper today just because I was bored.
You had to be. Pretty,
Nothing interesting in it, but I
had to
was
be
bored.
pretty damn bored where you're dressed.
Plus, I did the crossword puzzle.
Oh, there you go.
Read the comics. Comics are good, but it seems like I haven't read a paper in 7 or 8 years, and it feels like I didn't even miss anything. The cartoons seem like they're still on the same track, so I don't know. Okay, any questions on Twitter? Anything you want to see how to do, and we can figure it out together. Because quite frankly, like I said, I don't do a lot of... The thing that says messages, that would be direct messages. In other words, like you can see back in 2017, Barbara sent me a direct message.
How would you send one to President Trump?
What?
How would you send a message to President Trump?
A tweet?
A tweet.
I'm not going to be able to send a direct message to a public figure. They're going to have that blocked. They block that because they don't want private messages.
Really?
So if you went to that Trump POTUS one, they wouldn't let you in?
They wouldn't let you tell him what
If I want to send a new message, you'll notice it won't even bring up
TR, right?
his information.
Do you have to put Donald Trump?
Now, what was his? Let me
Real. That's real.
see what his thing was here. It was real Donald Trump.
Donald.
So if I try to send, let's say I click on this, and I
Tweet
don't
too.
see any way of
There it
sending him a message
Right
here.
there, it says tweet too.
There's a tweet too, real Donald
I can
Trump.
tweet. That's not a message.
Oh.
A tweet is a public message.
Oh, that's
Well,
what
we were talking about sending him a tweet.
Well, you said message.
I did.
Proper
yes.
terminology.
That's all right.
That's a
So
computer
if I
file.
want to tweet,
He doesn't listen to anybody.
now, do you think he reads his tweets?
No,
No.
Of course not. Do you think any public figure reads their tweets?
maybe
Well,
two.
some people might.
They hire somebody to do it.
Sure.
Once they get to a certain level of popularity, they're not going to read their own tweets. It's like they don't read their own mail. I mean, you know. So,
For one thing, they don't want to see the hate mail.
but let's see. If I go down here to
I bet you'd have shit your bricks if they come back and said hello to Micro.
be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Highly unlikely.
Let me see if I can find the right.
Well,
Barbara, if
yeah,
Barbara
send-
Clott would quit.
send
creating
one to
multiple-
Barbara and ask her how her toe is.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but she has so many identities, it's hard to figure out which one is actually her.
The real Donald.
The real Barbara.
Well, I found one of them down here, but I don't think it's the one she pays any attention to. See, that's the other problem. She's probably got the one that she pays attention to turned completely off, so you can't send her any tweets. And the one she never looks at,
There's one.
she has turned on.
That's a Barbara.
So I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna tweet.
Tell us about your
That's
toe.
Colorado cotton.
Tell her Jack's got the camera on.
I can type, it'd be dangerous.
You're supposed to use shortcut.
Do what?
You're supposed to use shortcut. Instead of... There, it's gone, right?
Oh, I probably hit the stupid.
Did you hit the
Actually,
send?
that's Barbara was a lock.
Now it says 6 tweets, so it should...
See, this is the thing I still haven't figured out as much as I played with it.
Why
I
doesn't
can't
it
find
show?
all my tweets.
Why doesn't it show
Oh, the
you
ones you sent, you mean?
I just sent one, but I don't see it.
tweets and replies?
But,
There's
Well,
more.
here's the one I sent to Trump.
okay.
I wonder if hers didn't go. See, the other possibility is, and this is a thing about Twitter.
It didn't say it went.
What
It
about,
did.
what about tweets and replies? Doesn't it
I just
appear?
clicked on
That's
that.
where he,
Oh, and
If you attempt to send a tweet and someone has it blocked, it just won't go.
oh, okay.
But it won't tell you that.
Okay, that's the barber with the lock. You have a barber without the lock?
So I don't know what happened to the tweet that I was just working on. It just vaporized.
Okay.
So I'm going to shorten it.
What are all those symbols at the bottom?
If you want to add a picture,
Oh,
if you want to add a GIF,
okay.
now GIFs are fun if you like the little gizmos. So like, I can search for the word toe.
I like that one in the water. That's a good one. Anyway, what's the other two?
So I've sent a tweet. Now whether she gets it or not, I have no idea. Because she sent me a message on Facebook the other day asking me if that was my Twitter. I'm like, you sent me a message on Facebook asking me if it's my Twitter. No, it's my Facebook. I don't think she understands them yet. She's still working on it.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like you have to go to tweets and replies to find things there.
Oh, there it goes then.
So that's what she would see if she's using a computer. If
Okay.
you're using a cell phone, you're not going to see that much.
Okay.
Because it's, I mean, it'll
Need a
be
tones.
compressed. It's harder to see. So, that's how you send a tweet. Now, suppose I want to modify this tweet. The only thing I can do is delete it. I cannot change it.
Okay.
Okay? But otherwise, now, I could share that tweet via direct message with somebody else, saying, hey, this is what I sent to Barbara. You know? So,
What's an embedded tweet?
Facebook allows you to edit your messages.
Oh,
notice
okay.
the HTML code, you can embed this on a website, so if somebody clicks on it, it would take them to this tweet.
Okay.
oh, you're gonna rush right out and do that.
No, right, no. Jack might do that for his website.
No, I use the word processor for my
Is that the furnace again?
Yeah.
I think Facebook lets you
Or
do the
air
same thing,
conditioner, maybe.
I think
if
it's
I remember correctly.
It's cooled off.
Yeah, it's blowing cold air now.
Yes.
Sorry?
It's blowing cool air.
I feel that, yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, now the other thing, when you set your account up, and again, this is why I don't like, you know, they call this your profile. But to me, this is like your feed or your news feed or your, you know, tweet feed or whatever you want to call it. Your profile is right here, what you tell Twitter about yourself. But you'll notice when I clicked on profile underneath my account, it took me here. And then I have to click edit profile here, and then I can change stuff along here. So they're mixing terminology from what I would expect. But, you know, you can put your location, you can, you know, put your birthday in, whatever you want. It's up to you. I wouldn't put a lot of stuff in there, personally. You notice all I put was my name. So, you see, I joined in 2014. So I've really been cranking them out, 7 tweets in 4 years. So, any other things you want to see? Now, sometimes you'll notice some little numbers show up. I have a notification. It says, Angie and Barbara Cott followed you 9 minutes ago. Now, I don't know why it says that, because Barbara Cott had been following me from, I don't know.
We'll click on it and see what happens.
That's just showing me that's her other account. So that's the problem. She does things and then does them again and then doesn't keep them separate. I don't know who Angie is. Angie Alberta, whoever that is.
She's cute.
The other thing, when you come into your settings here, under this notification thing, you'll find there's other people's names, because Twitter, like other social media, like Facebook does, tries to mine your address book if you're not careful when you first set it up. So when I first set this up, I was on my cell phone, and I didn't catch the alert that it was going to grab all my contacts. Then it compares them to whoever's already on Twitter, and it says, hey, you might want to follow this person because they're your contact. So, pay very close attention to the settings when you're setting something up to make sure it's not going to go in and grab your contact list. I mean, it doesn't do anything with it as far as I can tell. It just uses it to suggest things. See, now that Barbara, her other account is following me, I would have to follow her also so I can send her a tweet. So that's why, remember when I looked at the following thing, I couldn't find her? Because she has two accounts. So what I could do is pull up the tweet I send to her other account, and there's no way to copy this tweet. But what I could do, I copied the link. This stupid touchpad is driving me crazy. You can breathe on it, it thinks you're doing something. So there's the link that it created when I copied that other tweet. So now I can tweet this to her other account. Between the two of them, she ought to get it, right?
Next month.
Okay, so any questions?
Now you've got 8 tweets.
Yeah, I've sent a whole 8 tweets.
For a period of 4 years.
2 a year, man, I'm really blazing fast.
I need an oil change.
So this is the one I sent to her second account. You'll notice it looks pretty much like the one I sent to her other account when I copied the link. So we'll see if she's paying attention. I kind of doubt it. So anything you want to see specifically?
What kind of pictures do you have? What kind of format on pictures do you need?
What do you mean?
The format of your picture?
Size?
I'm not sure what you mean by
I'm
format.
trying to think.
JPEG or TIFF?
JPEG or?
Looks like a JPEG or GIF.
Well, GIF is animated. but-
Well,
Yeah.
he's got it right down there at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
When he sent it, it says what do you want to do with it.
That's a
They ask about the
GIF.
symbols.
Yeah, if you're going to send a tweet, I can get this to work. Yep, and ignore me.
There's a different kinds you
So-
can.
I can go in here and grab a picture, and I don't know if I have any pictures on this computer. I don't think I do, to be honest with you. Hang on a second, let me go. That's not gonna work.
There's a picture, too.
Now if I tweet that, do you think anybody's gonna tweet back and say, what? What is that?
POTUS might.
Huh?
POTUS might.
I doubt that.
So whatever picture you got on there, no matter what format it is. you
Yeah,
just-
that's okay.
Yeah, as far as I know, there's probably, I think I read somewhere, there's a limit to the, you can only put one picture in a tweet. You know how Facebook, you can post a whole album?
Yeah,
In Twitter, you can only put a single picture on a tweet. So if you want to tweet 10 pictures, you're going to send 10 tweets. And if you think of their economic model and how they're trying to make it look to investors, they want to drive quantity, not quality. So they want lots of tweets. So of course they would not allow you to do more than one picture per tweet. Because that way they force you to tweet 100 times if you want to tweet 100 pictures.
can we get rid of the toenails?
What's the matter, Jack? Bothering you?
No way to delete it?
I can delete that tweet,
Okay.
but if I delete this tweet, it'll cause this link to go dead. You know how websites work.
Yeah.
If I delete this tweet, Barbara might not see either one of them. So any specific questions?
Does anybody use this that you know? I mean, I know all the young people do, but
A couple people in another computer group I go to, one of them is an author and the other is like an IT tech support person. She uses Tweet for her, people to read her books and stuff. And she doesn't publish hardbacks, it's all online, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Blogs and stuff like that. But she uses it, but I don't know anybody else.
so I have to start remembering, I don't tweet, I text.
Yeah, if you use your cell phone to send a message to another cell phone,
Yeah,
that's a
That's
text.
one to one.
yeah.
You can send a text from your computer on certain situations, but
I think
Oh, I don't wanna learn
Google
that.
you
has,
don't need to do that.
yeah,
No.
Google has that.
Yeah, Google Voice can do that.
If I wanted to see if someone's tweeted about a different event.
I'm sorry?
If I wanted to tweet someone or follow tweeters that on different events, like a shooting or something like that, would I put a hashtag in the shooting or what?
Search.
I'm not understanding what you're looking for.
If I wanted to find out information, say like on a shooting, a school shooting or something like that,
If you search for it, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I guess school shooting.
You see hashtags on these every once in a while, a square or pound sign on these once in a while.
Well, sometimes the police sends
What?
out,
You see in the message, sometimes you see a pound sign.
That's a hashtag, which I
Yeah.
just talked about.
Well, that's what he's asking you.
Well, you have to know what the hashtag is to search it. You have to know the exact hashtag.
But how do I create one now? I guess I
You
don't.
just, when you type a tweet, when you tweet, you put hashtag whatever, and that's creating a hashtag.
And what's a hashtag as opposed to a tweet?
A tweet is the message you're sending. The hashtag is a string of text within the message. Anything that you want to create a hashtag of, you put pound sign or hashtag and type out all one word. It can't be spaces or anything in it. So like here's hashtag Arapahoe Sheriff's Office, hashtag K9.
Click on those and see what happens. Takes you to a different series of.
So I don't know who this is.
Now, are these tweets or what?
yeah.
That's this person's tweet, whoever that is.
And he's hashtagging
And
back.
they put a hashtag K9. I don't know why they put it in there.
It's like a
Looks
music.
like he's wearing a tail.
It doesn't, keep in mind, you can put in hashtag whatever you want. It doesn't have to make any sense.
Oh, that's so people would get your tweet.
It's just so people
they
can
can come
search
back
it.
to the original.
Well, they can search that hashtag. So, you know, it's just an indexing scheme.
Okay. I'm not gonna be using it. So
But
I guess-
to answer Wallace, it's, I mean, if it's a local, so let's say shooting,
So if
No.
you did hashtag school shooting, something might show up.
like,
If someone has created a hashtag,
School safety was there.
yeah, but it's a local, that's the question.
so you're seeing things that somewhere in their text, it's got a hashtag school shooting. Doesn't mean it actually has anything to do with a school shooting. It's like keywords on websites. They allow search engines to find them.
Okay.
Now, Twitter says you're not supposed to stack more than like 2 or 3 hashtags in a message. But some people probably, like here's one you can see, they do all kinds of them. So when I search for hashtag school shooting, it's going to find me every tweet that someone put hashtag school shooting in.
Something along this hashtag line. I sent some schedules out to people that had locations and addresses, and if I put the street, the city, and the zip code, and they got the email message on a cell phone, if you touch that, because it's a different color, it'll pull up the map.
Yeah, you can
I
embed,
just discovered that last month.
yeah, you can embed
last
geodata
week.
in emails and text.
So those are the kind of like the hashtag, but
So anyhow, this whole thing, you know, when I did that search, it came back with the hashtag school shooting, and I don't know, you know, it's going to have lots and lots and lots of stuff probably.
Yes.
And it's going to keep loading and loading.
All over the country.
Keep in mind that, you know, you can put a hashtag of anything you want. It just makes it easy for someone to find it if they know the hashtag.
indexing.
And it lets somebody, like I say, Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show sends out a tweet that says, send me your stories of a bad prom date. And the hashtag is hashtag bad prom date. So when you send the story in, you put in hashtag bad prom date, and their staff can search it and get them all together in one spot and look at them and decide which ones they're going to put on the air. So it's an indexing scheme.
That must be why those shows just don't seem like the old Johnny Carson shows anymore.
He didn't have internet.
Exactly.
But it's just something that allows, you know, people to
Indexing.
use the tool a little bit easier. Anything else?
So what's the difference between Facebook posts of this?
Facebook is a little bit more public, if you will. And to me, Facebook is a little bit, makes more sense for the average person. Well, because you don't have to, you know, in Facebook, instead of following somebody, you friend them.
Oh,
It's the same thing. Facebook, though, if I, you know, friend 20 people and then one of those people posts something on my timeline, the other 19 can see it because we're all friends. In this, it's not exactly the same because it depends on all the different settings and,
it's more like a broadcast.
sorry?
It's like you broadcast, everybody knows.
Well, yeah, if people are following you, they see it.
In Facebook, I got 20 happy birthdays.
Yeah.
Now you said you can't send 2 pictures, and I see 2 pictures on that.
Oh, that's one picture.
It's got 2 hashtags.
One file, one picture.
No, there's 2
Yeah, they
pictures.
probably just uploaded a single dual image.
It looks like 2 pictures.
Yeah.
So should we be sending,
There's 2
should we be
pictures.
singing happy birthday?
No, it was yesterday. You missed it.
Oh,
Yeah, when I read on, somewhere on the Twitter rules, it said only one picture per
29.
tweet.
Yes.
But
29 again.
But it's
Actually, I
like,
was
Yeah,
born
there are a
on
couple here
February
that-
19th, and I'll be 20.
but like you said, a good example, you say you got the police
But there's-
right here, but if
February
there's like a
29th,
shooting,
20
for
or 20th.
example,
There's an
but what's Wallace
app,
trying to say
app
is,
720
the police will send a alert bulletin out to.
Yeah.
I certainly see 2 pictures there.
Well, but it might not be 2 separate files. They
Just
may have
one file.
Well,
combined.
when you clicked on one, then you had to click to go to the other one. Click on one. What's those carrots on each side?
Well,
That's a
that,
different picture.
I don't know.
Different
All I'm
picture.
telling you is what they said in their instructions.
Different picture.
Yeah,
So
I
they
agree.
must have changed it.
Well, whatever.
I'm just telling you
Totally,
what they said in their
totally different
instructions.
formats.
So, I don't know.
I don't know,
how
I'm
they
just
did that.
picking apart something I'll never ever use. Why?
Because
And
you.
why are you raising the question?
Yeah, thank you. I wonder who I was.
All right, I see.
I want to keep Mark awake. He's falling asleep there.
So which is more popular, tweet or Facebook?
Hello.
Oh,
I don't know.
Where have you been?
Are we, well,
I was gonna
that's a
say,
legitimate question. I'm not taking it apart.
Facebook,
Just do a stock check, stock market check.
I have no idea.
but think
But I
about,
think you
how long
made a
Facebook's
clarification about Facebook. It says say friends, within a small group of friends or unless.
Yeah, Facebook generally allows for things to be more public in that, again, like I say, if I post something to your timeline, all your friends can see it,
Right,
even though I may not want them to see what I posted.
but they can be private.
Whereas if, on Twitter, if I tweet to Jack,
Yeah.
then Jack can see it. Now, if
No, I
Jack
won't see it.
retweets it to 20 other people, then now they all see it. But in Facebook, it's more visible.
Don't tweet me, it'll never get there.
Okay.
So how do I post a picture on Twitter? And I thought I read somewhere it said you can only put one picture. I don't know. Maybe it was one video. That might have been.
It's clear that you can do more than one.
So anyhow,
Up there a little bit higher in the blueprint, it said something about pictures and GIFs. A little higher. A little higher. Right, oop, right there, right there. Up, 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 right
In
there.
the box?
Photos and
so
GIFs.
that's in direct messages.
Okay. Well,
And this is how you post, just like I did that GIF to Barbara with the feet that Jack likes. That's how you would do it. You just click
toenails are bugging me,
the
'cause I got
icon that
bad
says
toenails.
GIF on it, and you can send the GIF.
Okay, well, it's not important.
True. That's all I've got.
well, thank you.
Very much.
So we'll take a break and then maybe do a Q&A.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Ah,
All right, well,
I'm
straighten
gonna
up.
go visit these.
I can tell
How's
you
your
this,
toe?
I'm not in Facebook or tweets.
sir, how's your toe?
I'm right there with you.
It's
so
not
I
fair,
don't do
the
either.
ankle's healed.
My
Because-
daughter signed me
Pretty much.
up.
Well, you know,
Still
it's
I've
funny,
never gone in.
believe it or not, and if you go get, some companies, and even some of the government, if you have a tweet account or a Facebook account, they want to know, they will search for you, what kind of person.
Yeah, and they look at who you friended and everything
Yeah,
else.
they say,
They're gonna
and
search
Jack
Donald
here's been
Trump's for
drinking and
evidence.
partying too much, or smoking too much. And say,
I don't
what kind of
smoke.
character he is.
I've only smoked 3 cigarettes
And
in
they,
my life.
they
Yeah.
put pictures of Jack out at the, dancing on the bar stool.
Yeah,
or
something like that. But the point is, I see some companies are asking for those things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But if they did ask, they said, I don't believe in Facebook. That's it. End of question. But it's also, especially right now with the Russian investigation of they use Facebook, they probably tweet, they create fake account to exploit and influence the voters.
I'm sure they're after Trump on Twitter.
And we're sure as heck in politics hearing all about Twitters these days.
Well, don't forget, even the politician, like like Dale mentioned, the follow, even stars, the movie, they use tweet to send the message out, just
Yeah.
like Trump doing that.
I'm gonna be in Denver tonight.
Yeah, they
Come
go
see
for that.
me.
It's advertising itself.
Yeah.
But but also at the same time, in this case, the most recent events is the Russians. If they're doing it, they could create dummy accounts, and they will try to influence you what they believe. Yeah.
Well, just recently, Twitter just deleted millions of accounts that they said were fake.
They're suspicious.
And they're just
Suspicious.
doing that all the time.
Even Facebook, they discovered they could trace it back where if it came from the Russians, or
That's
cannot
why,
be verified.
you know, a lot of places like Gmail is now, if you want to set up a Gmail account, you have to have a verified phone number for them to contact you to set it up. You can't set up a Gmail account without a phone number, a cell phone number. And if you try to use a cell phone number you've already used for another Gmail account, it won't let you. Same thing with Yahoo. And I think AOL is doing the same thing.
Huh.
So, you know, because they're trying to eliminate fake accounts.
So you just go out and buy a burner phone.
Well, that's what people do, you know, or they, you know, get somebody in the industry to give them fake phone numbers that they can put up on their computer. Because you have to, when you set the account up, they send you a verification text that you have to respond to.
Or email.
Now, most of them now, to create an email account, you have to have a cell phone number.
Yeah, I think it's Social Security tried to do that. You got to have a text to do that, and they got a lot of complaints they backed up.
Well, there's no reason for Social Security to do that,
Well, yeah, but
you know,
yeah.
because you're not creating an email account, your
And
Social
let's
Security account's already
face
set
it,
up.
if you got Social Security, you are mature and you aren't going to be that involved in all this new stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's the way they backed off immediately.
Yeah.
They do require
And
that you have to have direct deposit, right?
we
Yeah.
mature people are probably a little noisy about problems like
In
that.
other words, they could raise their voice.
Well, no,
Why not?
they're willing to do it.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, you could raise a little noise because when you retire, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to be a rabble rouser and protect my damn
Are
self.
you already planning that?
Yeah, I think so. 'Cause someone has to protect your Social Security.
What rabble are you gonna rouse?
It's right behind you, Jack. You're doing a pretty good job on it.
That's Wallace.
No, I'm sitting right behind you.
I even tried to use my Gmail or my Google Voice number
Yeah,
as a verification number for another Yahoo account,
yeah.
because you can send text to the Google Voice number, but it's not listed as a cell phone number. It's identified as a landline. So Yahoo will not allow you to use it to set up an email account. Even though they can send a text to it, they won't let you use it,
That's interesting.
because it's not identified as a cell number. It's not on the registry as a cell number.
That's another thing. Speaking of, maybe it's a future presentation. If you have Google Voice, there is a device that you could use regular, good old LAN phone service. You could use Google Voice to connect, and you get free phone calls in the United States. Call anywhere.
So, Q&A?
Can I say something about next door?
Excuse?
About what?
Next door.
Oh,
Next door.
Yeah, the website? What about
Well, I use that, you mentioned that.
it? Yeah.
During the time when, it was in February, when the federal government, or the homeless people were going to 6th and Union,
yeah, okay, I heard about that.
everybody had to express what they thought about that. It was a mess,
Mm-hmm.
really mess. And after about 2 days of that, I just started deleting things. Then when the federal government decided they would come in,
Mm-hmm.
everything was gone. just really, I think it's overused at times. Or people who feel they have to express how they feel.
It's trying to me, it sounds like to me, it's replacing like a community meeting, a representative coming to a meeting to everybody express their displeasure.
That happens.
Yeah, it happens, but now, lately, they're changing this telephone meeting tag, and you gotta wait in the queue and to speak up and on the phone, opposed to that next door.
Right,
Yeah, and I found it is totally ridiculous, because they don't wanna hear someone
Right.
really,
no, they want to express what they feel.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I done that a few times in the past, go up to a city council meeting and raise, you got 3 minutes to speak up to the council. And tell we don't like this ordinance because of this, or local tax, and it's not, to me, it's genuine expressing anger, and the city officials or government official realized, okay, they don't like it.
They don't have to listen, they just do something else while you're talking.
Yeah, but still, it's good. You could hear the anger in the voice from, or the passion of argument, opposed to a phone or next door or something like that.
I understand.
So there's a difference.
Most of these community websites end up becoming just an advertising platform for people with small businesses and even larger businesses, like the Nextdoor website
Yeah.
I talked about. About every 12th entry is what looks like a person recommending the Ring doorbell
Oh, man.
or Simply Safe security system. But they're sponsored ads by the company. But the way they're formatted, they look like a post, except you can tell it's not a person because it's not coming from a person.
Yeah.
So that's Facebook when it first started was probably person to person 90%. But when people realize, hey, I can splatter advertising all over it, and of course Facebook people say, well, we can make money on the advertising.
Well, based on your
Yeah, everybody thought when we went to email, we're not going to get any more junk mail in the mailboxes.
Ha.
Now we just get it in the inbox. So we still
And
get
in the
junk mail
mailbox.
out at the street, but we don't get as much.
And on the telephone.
Huh?
And on the telephone.
It's funny, while we were on vacation, that lightning storm and heavy hailstorm a few weeks back knocked out our phone line. So my son texted me and said,
what kind of phone line?
huh?
It's a Comcast phone.
No, the landline.
Oh.
And he texted me and said that, he thought something was wrong with the phone because there was a voicemail on it, but it was real crackly and hard to
That I
understand.
know.
And when he picked the phone up the next day, it was dead. He couldn't get anything. So when I got back from vacation, I had, CenturyLink come out, take a look at it. And the guy, stumbled around. He said, it's from the junction box down the street to the central office. So they actually took a pair completely out. And I said, it doesn't surprise me. Things have been in the ground for 40-some years, so a little excess trickle in the ground will probably open them right up.
Yeah.
So, but,
They fixed it.
he said it's going to be easy to fix because there's so few people using landlines anymore. I got all kinds of empty pairs.
Yeah, that's right.
And I laughed and I said, yeah, you probably have a lot more than you did 10 years ago. And he says, as a matter of fact, I've been working in this area for over 20 plus years.
Oh,
He
that's.
said, it seems to me I've been out here before. And I said to him, were you out here at the time I had interference with another line back in the days of AOL and dial-up? And for me to convince the lady that was on the other side to call you guys, it took me 3 times to tell her if she doesn't call you and report the problem we're having, because she thought I was some spy or something. I don't know what she thought. He said, I remember that. He says, yeah, because she called us and she was talking about somebody listening in on her line. And, and I told him, I said, yeah, that was me, because every time she picked the phone up, it knocked my modem off.
She must not have been very old. There used to be 2, 3, 4 party lines all over the place.
Well, yeah. We weren't on a party line, but
No.
All right.
Yeah, and good thing you never had a mouse on your line either.
All right, Q&A.
so questions, answers, comments, complaints.
Oh, there.
Mark.
Yahoo, I got an email today that was talking about that my account has been closed, claiming to come from Yahoo Mail.
Uh-oh.
And it says that you need to, there was an attachment on it, and I didn't open the attachment, I have no idea what was on it. How can I forward that to somebody at Yahoo to tell them it's a fake mail?
Which service are you using?
Yeah.
Yahoo.
Google? Yahoo, Google?
Yahoo.
Well, I know Google's got a bunch of icons along the top, and one of them will report it as spam, and also unsubscribe it for you. One click.
No, you report it to Yahoo.
Yeah.
How often do you use your Yahoo account?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, nearly every day.
Okay.
You got spoof.
I used to have it come on my phone, and now I have to verify it. And they have such a long thing that by the time I try to verify it, forget it. I have to go to my computer.
Can't remember my Yahoo password.
Try password.
If you, probably if you go into their help section and see if there's a place to report, phishing mail, but don't bet they'll do anything about it. Because the addresses are faked, the headers are faked.
Yeah, that's fraud.
I mean, there's really nothing they can do other than, unless some idiot's dumb enough to use these real addresses.
Yeah. And the important thing is to, if there's an attachment, do not open it.
Yeah, I did not.
Or reply.
It's like the do not call list. People say, well, I'm on a do not call list and I still get all these phone calls.
Yeah.
So, well, first of all, there are certain organizations completely exempt from that. Politicians, charities, anybody you have any sort of roundabout, convoluted business relationship with, which means your credit card company sells your phone number, your bank sells your phone number to these companies.
Third party.
Well, that's considered a business relationship. And 90% of the robocalls are originated overseas, and they don't have to follow U.S. law. They're not in the U.S. Omar is not going to pay any attention to what the U.S. says. So all you can do is answer the phone and curse him.
But nevertheless,
Delete.
yeah, just don't open at all.
Last guy called and said he was pretending he was from Microsoft Computer Support.
Yes.
I said,
Oh,
I
that.
said, is your mother still alive? Uh-huh, what? I said, if your mother's still alive, she must be so ashamed of you for doing this.
I like to string them along until they.
Well, I've done that too. I just let them
that's
yak
fun
and
to do.
yak.
Because when you're
yak.
stringing them along, there's one person you're saving.
You're saving somebody else.
Yes.
You notice now what they'll do, a lot of these places, I don't know if it's the Microsoft scam, but
What?
if they don't get what their machine tells them is, a good response within a certain number of seconds, they just automatically
Yeah,
go
they
to
hang
this.
up. They don't say sorry or anything.
Yeah,
I
they just-
did
they
have
just
one guy
disappear
tell me
off the
sorry.
line. So.
I had a call
But-
today, this afternoon, from somebody supposedly trying to sell a security system free,
Oh, yeah.
free and installation free, all of it. And I finally figured it out later that it was an automatic system, and it forwarded me to a person.
Yeah.
And the person said hello and all this bit, and I said, hi, you have a fantastic AI system. And she hung up.
Yeah, if you challenge anything,
No,
If it's not in their script.
Complimenting her.
Yeah, if it's not in their script, you're gone.
Okay.
What you want to do is set up an appointment with them and give them your address as 4901 West 20th Avenue.
yeah, the police department.
No, middle of Sloan's Lake.
Okay.
But they have geocoded databases, they'll know right away it's a fake address.
Yeah,
But-
particularly if it's on a landline.
But you're
Well,
just,
let me- let
Any other
me-
questions?
Jack says, you're egging them on.
I,
But how many
I've
calls?
been doing a lot of deleting on my emails through Yahoo.
Yeah.
Do I have to go into the delete place and delete it again?
Yahoo, do you use it online?
Yeah.
You don't have Outlook or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then Yahoo, after 30 days, empties your trash.
Oh, okay.
Unless you told them to.
Don't, okay.
No, you can't tell them
or move it
You
to
can
a
only tell them
different
to do it
folder.
faster.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can-
Because you're using their storage, and they're not gonna let you use their storage indefinitely, so they're
Sure.
gonna dump your crap.
Or you create a folder, move that mail you want to keep.
Don't move it into a separate folder.
They must have changed it.
Just, if it's trash, just let it sit there, or manually just
from
right-click.
past.
Usually you can right-click and say empty trash.
oh,
I've had
okay.
friends who had email, 2,000
Gmail does
emails.
exactly the same thing.
Took me a half an hour
AOL
to
does
delete it.
exactly the
Well,
same thing.
I got a 1 terabyte, no, 1 gig.
Outlook is a program, not an email service.
Oh,
Unless you're talking about Outlook.com.
no.
You're talking about your Outlook on
I'm
your
talking
computer.
about my email.
Yeah, no,
And
you're talking
I
about
sent-
Outlook on your computer, right?
No, I wasn't. I just used the word.
Does she have Outlook on her computer?
No, she uses the web-based.
Okay, well, never mind.
Okay.
If it's Outlook.com or Live.com or Hotmail.com, they do the same thing.
30
They
days.
dump your
right?
trash.
She's Google, aren't you Google?
Gmail.
Aren't you Google, Gmail?
Yeah, I don't know what I am.
Your emails, what's the
I
last?
got 2 emails, one's
My
Yahoo and
email
one's,
is
some
at
Comcast and Yahoo's my
questoffice.net.
Oh, you're on
Quest
Quest?
Office, yeah.
That's
I'm on
a
Quest.
Microsoft, that's a Hotmail or a Microsoft host, it used to be a Hotmail service. But
Questoffice.net.
they just
Pretty
registered.
old.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, get off, get off, get off, but I never bothered. And so.
But
I'm
you
still
go
on it.
online to check your email, right? You don't use the program Outlook on your local computer.
I just
Do
go
you
to
have
emails.
Microsoft Office on your computer?
Yes.
Then you probably have Outlook, which means you're probably using Outlook to get your mail.
I don't think she is. I think she's using a web-based server.
I just go to this little thing that says email and click it.
And it turns on.
It's a web-based, I'm pretty sure, Dale.
I got
All I
Office,
can, all I
but
can
don't
say
have-
is, learn the difference.
I just, everyone's saying you need to go in and delete the delete, and I'm thinking,
No, you
oh,
don't. Not if you use web-based mail,
okay.
because they automatically delete it for you.
And if Jack says that's what I have, then that's what I
And
have.
that's what you have.
I
What
think
can we
that's
say?
what you have.
Yeah, it makes a big difference on how you do your email, but most people today use web-based mail. So,
The one thing I know is I have too many pictures on my phone. And
Transfer.
I did not realize that, I bet some of them are 2 or 3 years old.
So what's wrong with that?
My phone keeps saying there's not enough space to back it up. And I don't know what that means, so I
Well-
ignore it. But my friend said I should delete pictures.
Well, you can pull them off. Take them out, put them on your computer if you want to do it that way.
I guess I'm giving up my pictures.
No, just
No, no,
save
you don't
it.
have to.
Save it
No,
on
you
your
can
Give us
just
what you
save
want.
it- Save it to the computer, Mary.
You can send them to the
Well, I
cloud.
tried to send, I took that trip to DC and I tried to send pictures to my computer and they just seemed to,
Disappear.
and I was probably trying to send too
If
many
you
at
tried
one
to
time or something.
you tried to send them to your computer
Yeah,
by connecting a cable to your computer?
not quite.
Why?
Email it.
That's a very long time.
That means you emailed it to your email account.
Could be.
And then
Yes,
you look at
yes.
You don't email to your computer, you email to your email account.
On the computer.
Then you go down to your email
Yeah.
account and then you download it to your computer.
But how many can you do? Maybe I tried to do too many. 'cause
There's a
it got screwed
finite
up.
limit on the size of each email.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And so what I tried to do didn't work very well, so I quit.
So Mary, if you're using Gmail,
Get a camera.
I'm not, I do not use Gmail.
All right, Mary.
whatever mail you're using, if you find your trash can somewhere,
Bam. Trash,
and
yeah, trash.
usually you can right-click on it on some servers or on some systems, but if you click on it, see where it says empty trash?
Uh-huh. I don't think I have that.
Hey, what is you got? You say,
But it will automatically empty them anyhow every 30 days.
What kind of email you got?
Questoffice.net.
Oh, that's a,
I don't know what she's, used to be
It's
Microsoft hosted that
yeah,
on their
it's
Exchange server. But I don't know if they're still paying Microsoft to do it. They might be using Gmail now, I don't know.
Probably use his Gmail using it as a connector.
Okay, so any other questions?
Lovely picture you
Who's
have
that guy?
I don't
I have
know.
no clue.
I think I used to know him when I was working.
All right.
Any other questions?
I have a question regarding printing. I do most of my computing from an iPhone or iPad. And it's a nightmare. I mean, I don't want to go to the library to have it printed, what I need printed every time.
Don't you have a printer?
I have a printer.
What kind of printer you got? What kind of printer you have?
HP.
Cemetery, what kind of printer?
She started the conversation with a clue.
iPad.
iPad is
That's
a piece
Apple.
of crap.
Oh,
If
I'm
it's
sorry.
the original
You-
iPad, the real oldest one, that's almost gonna be hard for you
Yeah,
to do anything.
printing from an iPad is not easy unless you figure it out.
Yeah.
Or you have, what's the Apple
Is it a real old one?
Wi-Fi?
No,
Yeah.
I probably had it 2.5 or 3
well, I was thinking,
My family bought
well,
it.
We're gonna
I,
have to find an Apple expert.
well, no,
There's one right there. Apple expert, right?
well, he has
John
an
is like-
iPad.
Whoa, whoa!
You're on the front and center now.
No, I'm asking the question, is what, the important thing, what kind of printer? You say HP. What, you know the model number at
No,
all?
not up
Okay.
in my head.
The current new printers nowadays is they have built-in wireless connection.
Right.
Now, it is possible you could print it, and it's probably because you could use the iPad to do a wireless connection to it, to print out if you have that printer. I don't know how old is your printer. It's possible you might have to get a printer with wireless.
Has it ever worked?
Yeah.
Has it ever worked?
No, when I was instructed.
If you Google how to print with an iPad, it starts out with print with AirPrint.
That's what I thought. Okay,
What's AirPrint?
it's the feature should be on the iPad.
But you have to have an AirPrint-enabled printer.
Right.
Yeah.
Which-
Go to Google and type in printing from my iPad. Doesn't work.
There it
Just
is.
go to Google and
What is an air print?
That's
That's a stupid
That's
Apple
software.
Apple
invention.
thing.
Oh.
that's software.
It's just-
Now, you can't put stupid and Apple in the same sentence.
But
That's redundancy.
That's an
No,
oxymoron.
but you're gonna have to check your printer and see what is compatible, like Apple or something, if there is,
There
to
is-
talk to it. But
How
if
come you
it's
have fixed
wireless,
Can you print something?
Check
from
your
an
printer.
iPad?
Can you
and
print
see if
something
it has
from an
a
iPad
number
without
that you can
AirPrint?
dial it to.
yeah.
My printer has a deal that I can go on my phone.
Wireless.
Dial that number to the print.
And I think the terminology they use, AirPrint, is basically
There's
wireless.
a model.
It's a wireless
Well,
connection.
your printer has to be on your local network.
Yeah.
Your iPad has to be on your local network. And if the printer is AirPrint enabled, in other words, is it an Apple printer? Because guess what?
It
It's about
doesn't
the
go
only
on-
printers that are AirPrint enabled are Apple printers.
Okay.
So,
So you're
but
out of luck
they're,
if it's an HP, huh?
Just
Well,
ask-
no, HP
just
has
use
a-
Google search and ask them some questions.
There it is.
Or
Printer's
you-
compatible with
You're gonna get-
iPad.
You're gonna get 1,000 answers.
Epson,
and only
HP,
2 or 3 of them will be
Lexmark.
right.
Oh, and you can?
With wireless
If you ask Google a
capability.
question, you're gonna get a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
hits.
trying to say.
yeah, it has to be a wireless
References.
printer.
So just read through them until they make sense.
So you're gonna have to find out if your printer is wireless or not. If it is not, that's why you're not able to
Mine
print.
is not.
Okay, and that's why you went to the library. Apparently, it is part of the wireless, the printers on the network, and yet you're able to print it. And probably it will pop up, say, library printer, or you just press it. So,
Wow.
well, printers nowadays,
Glad I
they're
don't have that.
inexpensive
Don't
now.
buy an Apple.
So you just have to get a wireless printer with that listing to say compatible. What is it? Epson, Canon?
Well, certain
HP,
ones in
certain-
those laws,
Yeah.
not everyone.
And it has to be wireless.
Has to be
it says.
wireless.
Wireless.
With
But nowadays,
Apple
they're,
AirPrint
I'm aware of that, but I don't have a wireless.
But
Okay, and that's
basically, that's
why.
the problem with iPads.
Takes me to the.
Always has
exactly.
to stay on.
Not doing it.
Yeah, yeah, so, I
Doesn't
mean,
bother John, he has all the stuff he needs.
He's got all the apples, huh?
He's got all the Apple stuff.
So anyway, that's.
bilingual.
that's why.
He's our bilingual man.
Any questions?
But yeah, it is a nightmare to get it to work. But once you get it to work, it works fine.
I had something happen to my birthday. I says, laser printer I got, I've had, and it's stupid, and it takes a lot of whatever. And so I went on the internet and I bought a $75 dual-sided Canon laser printer. 2 days later it came and I hooked it up. Took me a while to hook it up, but it draws 1.5 watts when it's not being used. So it's the newer stuff is definitely better than 5 years or older stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Their energy.
Energy accent, right?
And when you go to replace the cartridge, it's going to be what, 85 bucks?
No, $15.
Wow.
Wow.
You said, what is it?
It's a Canon
Oh, that's why. Okay.
laser,
It's a laser?
Yeah.
dual-sided,
Duplex.
duplex printing.
Just single.
Black and white?
Yes,
Black.
of course.
Fun.
Oh, okay, $15 cartridge?
Yes.
What, 20 pages?
I don't know how many pages.
How many sheets?
I don't know how
My-
many.
Must
my
be
wife-
20 pages per minute.
2,400 or something.
It prints.
My wife
20
likes her
per-
brother
It
color
does-
printer
it does
because
a
it
good
orders the
job, only
cartridges for
I
her.
need to tighten up the print. I need to darken the print. I just got
It
it.
orders them
today.
through Amazon.
I got a
Sends me
brother.
an email that says, do you want to order this cartridge? And
I
say, "Yeah, go ahead."
have a multifunction Canon, but I wanted a laser.
That's a.
I
This
have
one's a
one other
laser.
question.
Another question.
Next question.
Do you know anyone who would like a Dell CRT monitor
No.
that would take it without having me have to pay?
What's,
to
do you live in a
recycle?
city of
Those are the
Denver?
big ones.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunately.
a big one.
Oh gosh. That's
Yeah,
a two.
unfortunately, at
I've
this point,
asked
big?
and asked and
It's a
asked,
tube.
and basically, yeah, you pay us
Outside.
25 bucks, we'll take it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't think. Have you tried Best Buy?
Yes.
They won't take CRTs.
59
Yeah,
Nine
I
cents
think
a
they
pound.
stopped completely. They used to, you could pay them to take it, but they'll take LEDs less than 55 inches, no CRTs. I don't know of anybody
If you
nowadays.
see a construction hopper, ask the guy if you can throw it in those construction hoppers.
Yeah, don't do that,
Okay,
'cause
I got a lot
They
of.
get caught and it's a big fine. Throw it in your own trash and don't get caught.
I threw
Nobody
this
cares.
laser printer in my Denver trash today.
And what happened?
Are
It
there,
just disappeared.
They probably didn't notice.
are there any,
There are.
college or trade courses where they'd
Nobody's
like
gonna-
to take
They
the
will
class?
take it.
Nobody's gonna want a CRT
Oh,
at all, for
yeah.
any reason.
Take it,
Okay.
Now, it is.
hammer and glasses.
It is
protect-
possible.
Bust it up in
every-
little pieces,
It is possible.
but you
every
have to
once in
wear
a while
goggles.
that there's a community cleanup. Oh, get rid of electronics.
Even those,
Okay.
like
And they will
Aurora,
take it.
the
yeah.
last
Okay.
one Aurora did, if you had a
Yeah.
CRT, you still had to pay to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Yeah.
can find a museum.
Yeah, yeah.
If you
well,
wanna get rid of it and not tell anybody, what
Yeah.
kind of trash service do you have?
I have Denver.
Oh,
they-
yeah, use a
Do
black
they
plastic
use
bag.
cans?
They use the individual trash can, yeah.
Listen,
At
will
least
that,
in my area.
will it fit in those 33-gallon plastic black bags?
Sure.
Okay, put it in one of them 33 plastic bags with some newspapers around it, so when it falls in there, it doesn't make a big noise.
Oh,
But it's in a black plastic bag,
Black
and the
plastic
tow
bag.
guy can't see it. And he'll,
Okay.
it's like I say, I just threw a
Well,
printer away.
Yeah, I had it out in my front yard for about 2 weeks now, nobody wanted it.
Yeah, put it in a black
Call it,
plastic
call it,
bag
call
and
it,
put it
nobody
in your
wanted
regular
it.
hopper.
And now it's had a little rain on it, so.
Yeah,
Oh.
now it's
Somebody-
dead.
A year or two ago, we had some CRTs to get rid of at our church, and one of the ladies said, I'll put it on Craigslist. And it was gone within 2 hours.
Craigslist.
Yeah, just said free computer monitors and gave them the address and put them out on the curb, and 2 hours later, we were still cleaning things up and they were gone. Didn't even see who got
But
it.
yours is wet, so I don't.
Well,
But you might try that, because somebody
Okay,
might come by.
Craigslist.
Wait till next week
All
when
right.
it's sunny.
I'd put it in a black bag and throw it in the city hopper. I have done that.
How big is it?
It'll fit in a 33-gallon plastic bag.
I mean, you know, is it a
Well, it's about as
is
big
it a
as.
14 inch or a 16 inch?
The
or-
screen. The screen.
Oh, the screen. Oh, well, it's kind of small.
Like about that?
Put it in a,
Like about that.
Like-
Yeah.
yeah, you can put it in a black
12
trash
inch.
bag and throw it in your regular trash.
Put in a black
As
bag
long as
over.
you-
Oh,
No, you
As long as you
Put it in
buffer it so they don't hear it rattling around.
yeah.
They-
Or the CRT doesn't implode when it
Or
gets dumped.
It's not going to. I've thrown
It
out.
will.
I
when they
did an
come
old
back.
TV like that
Yeah.
one time. I had to get rid of it. I couldn't find anybody to take it, so I double bagged it in trash bags. Got my goggles on.
They're not gonna
and
see it
my
if you put it in a
hammer and
black
busted
bag.
it.
And just don't,
And
just
pick all
wrap
the
it in
pieces
something
up.
that doesn't have your name on it
That's
anywhere.
true, right.
No, they,
But your
Anyway,
fingerprints are on it.
Well, I do have, yes.
All
we're,
right, any other
let's
Okay, any
get
other
serious.
questions, comments,
Thank you
complaints?
so much for doing this
What are we gonna do
again.
next month?
Oh, you'll come up with something wonderful.
Have you ever asked us what we want with our computer? An instructor should say, what do you use your computer for? Write it down. What all those people use our computer for? That's what we need help with. That's what I used to do when I trained. Is that everybody there? I'd ask them what they wanted to learn.
You gonna do
Hey,
a presentation?
Email the club what you wanna learn,
Yes.
and Jack will teach a class.
Find somebody. Find somebody.
In August, Jack will teach a class.
Just email and say, this is what I use my machine for, and I'm having a little trouble with this program, or whatever.
I can't believe it's gonna be August next week.
Yep.
We used to have things
And you're
where,
not gonna be here
have
for the
classes
next
on like
meeting,
how to
right?
do
No, I
Windows
will.
and stuff
I'll
like
be
Yes.
there
that.
last day
Yeah.
of August.
I'm still,
Oh,
I'm
or
getting,
the
having to go to
last
Windows
Thursday
10
also.
now, and I'm.
Well,
You force yourself to
nightmare
go.
to set it up.
Yeah, so I'm coming back the 27th.
All right.
Okay.
Monday.
Jack,